Most people believe their day begins when they open their eyes. But in truth, something far more decisive is already happening before they even leave their bed. In those first quiet moments of the morning, there is a silent battle taking place. Not a physical one, but a psychological one. A battle between intention and impulse, between control and distraction. You wake up and almost automatically your hand reaches for your phone. Notifications, messages, noise. Before your mind has even had a chance to settle, it is already being pulled in a dozen different directions. And just like that, without realizing it, you've surrendered control of your day. This is how most people live, not because they choose to, but because they never question it. But the Stoics saw something different. They understood that the quality of your life is not determined by grand events or rare opportunities. It is shaped quietly, repeatedly, in moments like these, especially in the morning. Because how you begin your day is how you train your mind to live. Long before modern productivity systems and morning routines, thinkers like Marcus Aurelius, Epictetus, and Seneca treated the morning as something sacred. Not because it was peaceful or beautiful, but because it was necessary. They did not wake up expecting comfort. They woke up preparing for reality. Marcus Aurelius would remind himself upon waking that he would encounter difficult people, misunderstandings, frustration, and resistance, not as a form of pessimism, but as a way to align himself with truth, because life is not designed to meet your expectations. It unfolds according to its own nature. And if your mind is not prepared for that, you will suffer unnecessarily. This is what makes the Stoic approach so powerful. It is not about controlling the world, it is about preparing yourself for it. The morning, then, becomes more than just the start of a schedule. It becomes a moment of alignment, a time to shape your perception, your focus, and your character before the world begins to interfere.
And to understand this fully, you need a simple framework. Every effective Stoic morning rests on 4 foundations: awareness, control, intention, and discipline. Awareness is the ability to observe your thoughts without immediately obeying them. Control is understanding what is truly within your power and what is not. Intention is choosing how you want to act before the day begins. And discipline is the willingness to follow through, even when it feels uncomfortable. Each habit you are about to understand fits into one of these pillars, and together they form something deeper than a routine. They form a way of living. It begins with something deceptively simple: the moment you wake up. Most people wake up and immediately react. They don't notice their thoughts. They don't question their impulses. They simply follow them. This is where control is lost. The Stoics believe that freedom begins with awareness, not external freedom, but internal freedom, the ability to pause between stimulus and response. So instead of reaching for your phone, imagine doing something different. You wake up and you simply observe. You notice your breathing. You notice your thoughts beginning to form. You notice the urge to grab your device, to escape into distraction. And for a moment, you do nothing. This small act changes everything, because now you are not reacting, you are choosing. And that leads to a deeper realization. Most frustration during the day comes not from what happens, but from the gap between what we expect and what actually occurs.
We expect things to go smoothly. We expect people to behave reasonably. We expect life to cooperate with our plans. And when it doesn't, we feel resistance, anger, stress. The Stoics approached this differently. Instead of expecting ease, they practiced something called negative visualization. They would deliberately imagine challenges before they happened, not to worry themselves, but to prepare their minds. Imagine starting your day by quietly acknowledging that things may go wrong, that you may face delays, criticism, or unexpected problems. At first, this might seem uncomfortable, but something surprising happens. When difficulty does arise, it no longer shocks you. It no longer feels unfair. It feels expected. And when something goes better than anticipated, you feel gratitude instead of entitlement. This shift alone can transform your emotional stability. But there is another source of suffering that runs even deeper: the constant attempt to control what cannot be controlled. People spend their mornings worrying about outcomes, about how others will perceive them, about things that haven't even happened yet. And in doing so, they exhaust themselves before the day has even begun. Epictetus made this distinction clear. Some things are within your control, and some things are not. Your actions, your judgments, your effort, these are yours. Other people's opinions, external events, outcomes, these are not. Yet most people reverse this. They neglect what they can control and obsess over what they cannot. So, imagine beginning your day with a simple question: what is truly within my control today?
Not the results, not the reactions of others, just your choices. When you focus there, something changes. You become less anxious because your attention is grounded in reality. And more importantly, you become more effective because energy is no longer wasted. From here, another pattern becomes clear. Many people go through their day without direction. They wake up, react, and drift from one task to another. By the end of the day, they feel busy, but not fulfilled. The Stoics did not drift. They chose. They began their day by defining their intentions, not vague goals, but clear principles. How will I respond to difficulty today? What kind of person will I be, regardless of circumstances? This is not about productivity. It is about identity. Because when your intentions are clear, your actions begin to align. Imagine starting your day knowing that no matter what happens, you will remain calm, focused, and grounded. That becomes your anchor. And yet, even with awareness and intention, there is still resistance. The natural desire for comfort. It shows up in small ways: staying in bed longer than you should, avoiding difficult tasks, choosing ease over growth. But the Stoics understood something most people ignore.
Comfort weakens you when it becomes a habit, so they practiced voluntary discomfort. Not extreme hardship, but small, deliberate challenges. Doing the difficult thing first, taking a cold shower, facing resistance instead of avoiding it. Why? Because discomfort trains your mind to stop fearing effort. And when you no longer fear effort, you become free. Free to act, free to grow, free to endure. This strength carries into everything else you do. But there is another threat to your mind that is often overlooked: what you allow into it. Most people begin their day by consuming information without thinking: news, social media, opinions, negativity. And then they wonder why they feel anxious, distracted, or overwhelmed. The Stoics were extremely careful about this. They believed that your mind is shaped by the impressions it receives. If you allow negativity in, it will influence your perception, your mood, your decisions. So instead of starting your day with noise, imagine starting it with intention, silence, reflection, maybe a few words of wisdom. You are no longer feeding your mind randomly. You are choosing what shapes it, and that changes how you see the world. Before stepping fully into the day, there is one more practice that ties everything together: reflection.
Not at the end of the day, but at the beginning. A moment to pause and ask yourself, am I aligned with the person I want to be today? Most people don't ask this, they simply act. But when you take even a minute to reflect, your actions become more deliberate. You are no longer rushing into the day, you are entering it with awareness. This is what the Stoics practiced consistently. And while each of these habits may seem small on their own, their true power lies in repetition. Because identity is not built in a single moment, it is built through consistent action. Every morning you choose awareness over impulse, you strengthen your control. Every time you prepare for difficulty, you build resilience. Every time you focus on what you can control, you reduce unnecessary suffering. Over time, these choices compound, and slowly, almost unnoticed, you begin to change. You become calmer, more focused, less reactive. Not because life has become easier, but because you have become stronger. This is the quiet transformation the Stoics understood. They were not chasing motivation, they were shaping character. And character is what determines how you experience life. Each morning, then, is not just a beginning, it is an opportunity to return to yourself, to reset your mind, to realign your priorities, to reclaim control. No matter how yesterday went, today offers a new chance, not to be perfect, but to be intentional. And that is enough. So tomorrow morning, when you wake up, notice the moment, before the distractions, before the noise. Pause, observe, choose. Because in that small space, you are not just starting your day, you are shaping your life. If this perspective resonated with you, take a moment to reflect on which of these habits you can begin applying tomorrow. Start small, but stay consistent. And if you found value in this, consider liking the video, sharing it with someone who might need it, and subscribing for more insights grounded in timeless Stoic wisdom.